Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to our Sunday segment, you all. This is the finale. This is the finale, y'all. What you think about that? We are here for our final segment reading of this amazing book, The Seat of the Soul. This book, you all, has been absolutely phenomenal. Listen, I always offer the book for free in PDF form for you to have it in your own library, for you to read it for yourself with whoever you want to share the book with. It's perfectly fine. Once you get it, it is yours to do with however you want to do it, you do with it. Okay. So, yes, we are a nonprofit organization. Yes, we do accept donations. They are welcome, but they are not required for you to get the copy of the book for yourself. Everything that we read is always available for you because simply it's needed, it's necessary. This information is amazingly necessary for us, and it helps us to evolve our souls as we should be evolving while we're here in this human existence. Okay, so today is the finale. We have two chapters. Typically we read one chapter per session, but because we only have two chapters remaining, I'm just going to knock those out, 15 and 16, which are entitled Power and Trust. Okay, Power and Trust. Those are the final two chapters. We have gone through, you all, a whole gambit of topics. We've gone through relationships and illusions and intention and let's see what else, reverence and evolution and karma, and oh my goodness, it's been absolutely phenomenal. But we are here to go through the remaining of it, and man, oh man, oh man, I am super duper duper excited. Okay, so I'm trying to see here what and how to get myself larger on the screen. Boom. There we go. Okay, there it is. All right. You all, speaking of screen, I know those on Clubhouse are like, what you talking about? Because they are not privy to the screen at all. It's only audio over there. But that's okay because it's usually actually it's kind of only audio on the other platforms too. I am airing on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, uh let me see, Clubhouse, YouTube, Instagram. We're everywhere, you all. Everywhere. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's listening under the sound of my voice and who is joining us. Whether you say anything in the chat or not, it's up to you. But the chat is available for you to share your insights, whatever you feel that you're gleaning from our reading or whatever the case. It's up to you. However you want to maneuver and communicate, you can do just that. Okay. Now, I'm going to begin our segment reading today. And listen, again, utilize the chats. If you hear something that sticks out to you, if it resonates with you, go ahead and utilize the chat. Otherwise, enjoy the reading. Okay. Chapter 15, Power. What is the nature of power? What does it mean to be a truly powerful human being? Power is not the ability to exert your will upon another person. This is no inner security in that kind of power. There is no inner security in that kind of power. That is an attribute of time. And as time changes, that changes too. Do you have a strong body that others cannot challenge? That will change. What will you do then? Do you have a physical beauty that can be used to influence others? That will change. What would you do then? Do you have a cleverness that maneuvers others? What happens when you're too tired to use it or you miss the opportunity? If you're not at home in the world, you live in the fear of one who can never truly relax and enjoy life. Is this power? There is no power in fear or in any of the activities that are generated by fear. There is no power in a thought form of fear, even if it is supported by armies. The armies of Rome disappeared more than a millennia ago, but the force of the life of a single human that Roman soldiers put to death continues to shape the development of our species. Who had the power? You are only as powerful as that for which you stand. Do you stand for money in the bank and a bigger house? Do you stand for an attractive mate? Do you stand for imposing your way of thinking upon others? These are the stands of the personality seeking to satisfy its wants. Do you stand for perfection, for the beauty and compassion of each soul? Do you stand for the power of love and the clarity of wisdom? Do you stand for forgiveness and humbleness? These are the stands of the personality that has aligned itself with its soul. This is the position of a truly powerful personality. Power is energy that is formed by the intentions of the soul. It is light shaped by the intentions of love and compassion guided by wisdom. It is energy that is focused and directed toward the fulfillment of the task of the soul upon the earth and the development of the personality as a physical instrument of the soul that is appropriate to those tasks. It is the force that shapes the illusion into the images of the souls that are creating it and not those of their personalities. What does this mean? There is a continual energy exchange between souls. This exchange is splintered when the personality is splintered. Energy, power leaves a splintered personality through each of its different parts. If one part of you fears the loss of your job, and another fears the loss of a relationship, and another dreads confrontation with an unpleasant coworker, power flows from you without your conscious control. This is how the energy dynamics of an unempowered personality work. When energy leaves you in fear or distrust, it cannot bring you anything but discomfort or pain. When energy flows from your system in fear or distrust, you experience a physical feeling of pain or discomfort in the power of your body that is associated with the particular energy center that is losing power. When you fear for your ability to protect and care for yourself in the world, to pay your rent, for example, or to keep yourself safe from physical or emotional harm, when you see power as external and you feel that you do not have enough of it to ensure your well being or your safety, you experience discomfort or pain in the area of your stomach. Yes, solar plexus. In the area of your solar plexus, exactly. What we call anxiety is the experience of power leaving through the energy center that is located in this area of the body. An anxiety attack is a massive loss of power from your system through that energy center. Power losses affect the surrounding parts of the body. Power loss through this center, for example, can cause indigestion. It is a chronic or acute. It can ulcerate the stomach. When you fear that your ability to love or to be loved is threatened. When you fear, for example, expressing your own love or receiving love from another, you experience physical discomfort or pain in the region of your chest, near your heart, the heart chakra. What we experience literally as heartache is the experience of power leaving in fear or distrust through this energy center. Have you lost a mate or a child or someone very dear to you? Sort through your experience. Determine what it is that you felt. You will discover that your body hurt, that you were in pain in the vicinity of your chest. That is the experience of power leaving through that energy center. That is what a heartache is, the loss of power through your heart center. Chronic or acute loss of power through the heart center results literally in a heart attack of the heart. There is more to myocardial infarction to heart attack than cholesterol in the blood and other conditions of the physical system. That's it. Every distress and every dysfunction of the physical body or every illness can be understood in terms of power loss to an external circumstance or object through one of the several energy centers within the body. You lose power when you rage against injustice. You lose power when you are threatened by another person or other people. You lose power when you distance yourself from your fellow humans out of resentment or bitterness or a sense of disappointment or unworthiness as superior. You lose power when you long for something or someone, when you grieve and when you envy another. Beneath all of these is fear. Fear that you are vulnerable, that you are not able to cope without the person or the situation that you miss, that you are at a disadvantage without that which you envy. You lose power whenever you fear. That is what a loss of power is. You do not stop losing power by refusing to recognize your fear. by anesthetizing yourself to what you feel. The road to authentic power is always through what you feel, through your heart. The way of the heart is one of compassion and emotional perception. Therefore, it is never appropriate to suppress an emotion or to disregard what you feel. If you do not know what you feel, you cannot come to know the splintered nature of your personality and to challenge those aspects and those energies that do not serve your development. By remaining in your power, you do not become a static energy system, one that hoards energy to itself. You become a stable energy system, capable of conscious acts of focus and intention. You become a magnet for those who are illumined and those who want to be. Mm. At issue, at issue is the manner in which energy flows from you. When energy leaves you in any way except in strength and trust, it cannot bring back to you anything but pain and discomfort. An authentically empowered human being, therefore, is a human being that does not release its energy except in love and trust. What are the characteristics of an authentically empowered human being? An authentically empowered person is humble. This does not mean the false humility of one who stoops to be with those who are below him or her. It is the inclusiveness of one who responds to the beauty of each soul, who sees in each personality, in the actions of each personality, the soul incarnate upon the earth. It is the harmlessness of one who treasures and honors and reveres life in all its forms. Are you concerned for the earth? It is the humble who have never harmed the earth. What does it mean to be harmless? It means being so strong that you need not harm a creature. That is what it means. You are so able and empowered that the idea of showing power through harm is not even a part of your consciousness. Without genuine humility, you cannot have this kind of power because power leaves you when you feel that the situation that you are in or the people that are with you do not command your respect. A humble spirit walks a familiar world. People are not strangers to it, they are its companions upon the earth. A humble spirit does not ask for more than it needs, and what it needs, the universe provides. A humble spirit is content with the fulfillment of its authentic needs and is not burdened with artificial needs. Humble spirits are free to love and to be who they are. They have no artificial standards to live up to. They are not drawn to the symbols of external power. They do not compete for external power. This does not mean that they do not take pride in what they can do well, or that they do not focus their efforts on to produce the best that they can, or are not spurred onward by their fellow humans when that is appropriate to the situation. To compete means to strive for something in company or together, to aim at something, to try to reach something, to seek after something with others. If the something that you aim for is prestige or notice or gold medal instead of a tin medal, it is your personality that is motivated for that is motivating the competition. You are striving to empower yourself at the expense of others, to assert your superiority over another or over other human beings. You are striving for external power. By striving for this reward and that reward, you ask the world to assess and acknowledge your value before you can value yourself. You place your sense of self worth in the hands of others. You have no power even if you win every gold medal that the world can produce. If what you seek is the joy of giving without reservation, of giving with purpose and joy and consciousness, all that you have to the effort that you and other souls are creating jointly, your competition is the expression of your soul. When the effort that finishes last in time has the same value as the effort that finishes first, when the quality of the immortal, timeless soul is honored instead of the time-bound personality and body, when your giving is not impeded by fear of vulnerability, when the size or color or shape of what you receive or do not receive does not matter, you will know the power of a humble spirit. An authentically empowered person is one who forgives. Forgiveness is not a moral issue, it is an energy dynamic. When most people forgive, they do not want those that they forgave to forget that they forgave or forgot. This kind of forgiveness manipulates the person who is forgiven. It is not forgiveness. It is a means of acquiring external power over another. Forgiveness means that you do not carry the baggage of an experience. When you choose not to forgive, the experience that you do not forgive sticks with you. When you choose not to forgive, it is like agreeing to wear dark, gruesome sunglasses that distort everything. And it is you who are forced every day to look at life through those contaminated lenses because you have chosen to keep them on. You wish everyone else to see the world that way because you wish to see the world that way. And it is indeed the world that you are looking at, but it is only you who sees it. You are looking through the lenses of your own contaminated love. My goodness, my goodness. Forgiveness means that you do not hold others responsible for your experiences. If you do not hold yourself accountable for what you experience, you will hold someone else accountable. And if you are not satisfied with what you experience, you will seek to change it by manipulating that person. Complaining, for example, is exactly that dynamic of wanting someone to be responsible for what you experience and to fix things for you. Wow. Complaining is a form of manipulation, but you are free to move beyond that in the next step, which is perception and sharing without manipulation. What is at stake is not your sharing, but the intention behind it. When complaining is used instead of sharing, that is what becomes negative, but not sharing, but not the sharing. It is how you cast the sharing or shape it before the intention with which you share. Before you share, ask yourself, what is my intention in sharing this? Am I looking for a particular response? Use this as a way of centering your attitude before committing any energy to words. Mm. When you assume responsibility for what you experience and share what you experience in the spirit of companionship, that is the same as forgiveness. When you hold someone responsible for what you experience, you lose power. You cannot know what another person will do. Therefore, when you depend upon another person for the experience that you think are necessary to your well being, you live continually in the fear that they will not deliver. The perception that someone else is responsible for what you experience underlies the idea that forgiveness is something that one person does for another. How can you forgive another person for the fact that you have chosen to step out of your power? When you forgive, you release critical judgment of yourself as well as others. You lighten up. You do not cling to negative experiences that resulted from decisions that you made while you were learning. That is regret. Regret is the double negativity of clinging to negativity. You lose power when you regret. If one person grieves at his or her experiences while another is able to laugh, who is the lighter? Which is harmless? The heart that dances is the innocent heart. The one that cannot laugh is burdened. It is the dancing heart that is harmless. Oh, wait. This does not mean that you do not learn from what you have experienced and apply that in each moment as you make your decisions. That is the responsible choice. If you are doing all that you can to the fullest of your ability as well as you can, there is nothing else that is asked of your soul. An authentically empowered human being is clear in his or her perceptions and thinking. Clarity is the perception of wisdom. It is seeing with wisdom. It is seeing with wisdom. It is being able to perceive and understand the illusion and to let it play. It is being able to see beyond the activities of the personality to the force of the immortal soul. It is being able to understand what it is that is striving to come into being, the health and integration of the personality and the evolution of the soul. It is the ability to recognize non-physical dynamics as they appear within the world of time and matter. It is understanding the laws of karma and attraction and their relationship to what you experience. It is being able to see the role of responsible choice and choosing accordingly in each moment. Clarity is the ability to see the soul in action in the physical world. Nice. Clarity is the ability to see the soul in action in the physical world. It results from choosing to learn through wisdom instead of through fear and doubt. Clarity allows you to experience your fellow humans with compassion instead of with judgment. Can you not see the karma that another is creating for himself or herself by choosing the currents of anger or greed? Have you not made the same choices yourself? Have you not felt vulnerable? Have you not struck out at others? Clarity brings forth true compassion, the sharing of passion with others. It allows the energy of the heart to flow. Clarity turns pain into suffering. It sees the dynamic of the personality that is the cause of the pain and the relationship of that dynamic and that experience to the evolution of the soul. It is the perception in each moment that everything is designed with for wholeness and perfection, and every aspect serves ultimately a beautiful learning. An authentically empowered personality sees the perfection of each situation and each experience for the evolution of each soul and the maturation of each personality involved. It sees perfection in the smallest details everywhere. Wherever it looks, it sees the hand of God. My goodness. Clarity evaporates fear. Clarity evaporates fear. It allows you to choose the vertical path and to stay on it. It allows you to understand the dynamics beneath your addictions, what your addictions serve, and how they operate, and to make the choices that will disempower them and empower you. It allows you to challenge not merely a force that you do not understand, such as attraction to alcohol or a drug or indiscriminate sex, but a dynamic that you understand in terms of its causes and its effects. It allows you to choose consciously and to know why you are choosing as you do. Clarity allows you to see the world of physical matter for what it is, a learning environment that is created jointly by the intentions of the souls that share it. Yes. Therefore, it allows you to recognize the effects of the intentions that shape the personal reality of each human at work at levels of reality that are created jointly. It allows you to see, for example, the extent to which relationships between nations have been shaped by the energy of the personality of the extent and the extent to which they have been shaped by the energy of the soul, and to recognize that the energy of the soul is entirely lacking at this level and at most others. Clarity allows you to see that the decision making process within the human condition is linked to the evolution of others, and in what way. It allows you to see that you participate in the evolution of joint energy dynamics, such as the archetypes, the collective human ideas of sacred partnership, male, female, wife, and priest through the decisions that you make. It allows you to see that your contribution to the evolution of your soul is precisely the decisions that you make at each moment, and that those decisions are embodied in the physical reality that you share with fellow human beings. An authentically empowered person lives in love. Come on. An authentically empowered person lives in love. Mm. Who living in love? Love is the energy of the soul. Love is what heals the personality. There is nothing that cannot be healed by love. There is nothing but love. Love is not a passive state, it is an active force. It is the force of the soul. Love does more than bring peace where there is conflict. It brings a different way of being in the world. It brings harmony and an active interest in the well being of others. It brings concern and care. It brings light. It washes away the concerns of the personality. In the light of love, there is only love. There is a relationship between love and power and the transformations of the quality of experiences that occur within the earth school as a whole. The type of power that you are trying to transform in yourself is the type of power that needs to be transformed in general upon the earth. There are numerous human beings who are drawn to violent fantasies, violent fantasies, violent acts. Most of them essentially center in the fact that the individual himself or herself feels powerless and victimized and therefore wants to live for a brief period of time with one other human being, a sense of being empowered. But there is no genuine power to be found in that area. It is through the evolution of your own consciousness, through focusing on more and more empowered choices, that you create the distance that is necessary between you and your negative emotions, and heal yourself in such a way that violence no longer asserts itself. To heal violence, there must be love. Love is the energy of the soul, and therefore, the experience of giving and receiving love, of living a life of love, fulfills the personality. It is something that the personality continually reaches for. Reaching for love unconsciously can produce anger and fear. This happens when the personality does not see clearly what it is searching for, reaching for, which is the case for addiction. If you reach for an addictive sexual relationship, for example, you are reaching for love. It is the illusion that you think that you are reaching for something or so manly or womanly. You are reaching for love, but you will not admit it and will not deal with it. So there's anger within you because there is a level of energy and emotion that longs to be born, but it is never given an outlet. It is emotionally, spiritually impossible to have a sexual connection with a human being and not ignite certain emotional patterns. But they are a continual dead end street when there is no relationship or true emotional feelings to go with the act. Therefore, there's a level of brutality, frustration, and eventually emotional disease, which results in physical illness and breakdown because a significant pattern is being tremendously abused. Remember, you do get what you ask for. Asking for love is asking for the energy of the soul. It brings with it a genuine concern for the other. You cannot prey upon someone whose well being is in your heart. You cannot prey upon someone whose well being is in your heart. When you seek to impose your intelligence or your way of seeing upon another, you are reaching for love, but you are routing your reach, so to speak, through the wants of your personality. You are seeking external power. There is only emptiness there. When you seek to dominate another, you dominate no one but disempower yourself. The less empowered you feel, the more you feel a need to control that which is external. The loving personality seeks not to control, but to nurture, not to dominate, but to empower. Love is the richness and fullness of your soul flowing through you. Humbleness, forgiveness, clarity, and love are the dynamics of freedom. They are the foundations of authentic power. That was amazing. My goodness, that was power, chapter 15. Now we're on the final chapter, chapter 16, which is entitled Trust. Each soul comes to the earth with gifts. A soul does not incarnate only to heal and to balance its energy, to pay its karmic debts, but also to contribute its specialness in specific ways. Each soul brings the particular configuration of the life force that it is to the needs of the earth school. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Each soul brings the particular configuration of the life force that it is to the needs of the earth school. It does this with purpose and intention. Before it incarnates, each soul agrees to perform certain tasks upon the earth. It enters into a sacred agreement with the universe to accomplish specific goals. It enters into this commitment in the fullness of its being. That is why when a soul succeeds in accomplishing its goal, in fulfilling what it has agreed to do, there is a richness and a specialness to the lifetime of that personality that is recognized and honored by its fellow souls, both physical and non physical. Each soul takes upon itself a particular task. It may be the task of raising a family, or communicating ideas through writing, or transforming the consciousness of a community, such as the business community. It may be the task of awakening the awareness of the power of love at the level of nations, or even contributing directly to the evolution of consciousness on a global level. Whatever the task that your soul has agreed to, whatever its contract with the universe, all of the experiences of your life serve to awaken within you the memory of that contract and to prepare you to fulfill it. An unempowered personality cannot complete the task of its soul. It languishes in an inner sense of emptiness. It seeks to fulfill itself with external power, but that will not satisfy it. This sense of emptiness or something missing or of something wrong cannot be healed by satisfying the wants of the personality. Gratifying needs that are based upon fear will not bring you to the touchstone of purpose. No matter how successful the personality becomes in accomplishing its goals, those goals will not be enough. Eventually, it will hunger for the energy of its soul. Only when the personality begins to walk the path that its soul has chosen will it satisfy its hunger. Authentic empowerment and the fulfillment of the soul's task upon the earth, therefore, are not separate dynamics. Authentic empowerment is necessary to accomplish fully the mission of the soul. Yet, as you move into authentic empowerment, you move toward the fulfillment of your soul's agreement with the universe. And as you move toward that fulfillment, as you move consciously toward the energy of your soul, you empower yourself. You and the work of your soul upon the earth expand together, and one grows and develops, so does the other. When a soul incarnates, its memory of the agreement that it has made with the universe becomes soft. It becomes dormant, awaiting the experiences that will activate it. That's why we come into the earth as babies. That is our agreement and our memories and things like that becoming soft. Okay. These experiences are not necessarily experiences that the personality would choose, right? They are nonetheless necessary to the activation of the awareness of the power and the mission of the soul within the consciousness of the personality and to its preparation for that task. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I had an encounter with a person, another client of mine, and as I was doing it and kind of divining for them, I heard that they had been preparing for centuries to complete their task in this life, in this iteration. Okay, that's what this is talking about. Okay, they are nonetheless necessary, talking about the experiences, they are nonetheless necessary to the activation of the awareness of the power and the mission of the soul within the consciousness of the personality and to its preparation for that task. What does it feel like to remember your soul's task? When the deepest part of you becomes engaged in what you are doing, when your activities and actions become gratifying and purposeful, when what you do serves both yourself and others, when you do not tire within, but seek the sweet satisfaction of your life and your work, you are doing what you were meant to be doing. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Okay. The personality that is engaged in the work of its soul is buoyant. It is not burdened with negativity. It does not fear. It experiences purposefulness and meaning. It delights in its work and in others. It is fulfilled and fulfilling. Interactions with your parents and with those whom you have chosen to share your intimacy, and with those whom, out of the billions of souls upon our planet, you share parts of your life, serve to activate within you in awareness of who you are and what you are here to do. The pains that you suffer, the loneliness that you endure, the experiences that are disappointing or distress, the addictions and seeming pitfalls of your life are the doorways to awareness. Yes, they are. Each offers you an opportunity to see beyond the illusion that serves the balancing within each experience of pain or negativity. In the end is the opportunity to challenge the perception that lies behind it, fear that lies behind it, and to choose to learn within the wisdom. The fear will not vanish immediately, but it will disintegrate as you work with courage. When fear ceases to scare you, it cannot stay. When you choose to learn through wisdom, to evolve consciously, your fears surface be at a time in order for you to exercise them within your inner self. That is how it happens. You exercise your own guides and teachers continually offering you light with your own guides and teachers that continually offer you light. There's a lot of typos in the in this section here. They encourage you. in each moment to your fullness, growth, and development. Yet they cannot prevent you from your learning or your growing or your moving through your experiences and letting your experiences influence you. There's a lot of typos in this section here. This is so, even if you are able to communicate with them consciously and directly, talking about your guides and your teachers, your non-physical guides and teachers, ancestors, angels, things like that. Okay, contemporaries. This is so, even if you're able to communicate with them consciously and directly, what he's saying here is, even if you can communicate with your ancestors and your spiritual guides and things like that, they still can't keep you from your learning process. You know what I'm saying? They cannot abort you from the tough times and tough experiences. No, because it's through those experiences that you're learning, that you're evolving, that you're growing, that you're awakening to who you are. Your experiences will move you right or left, and you will ask your teacher this question or that. If you move left, your question will be entirely different than if you moved right. And the reality that you open by that question will be entirely, um, I believe, up to you. There is no single optimal part of for the soul. There are many optimal paths. With each choice, you immediately create numerous paths within a choice, one of which is then optimal. In other words, the optimal path of your soul is the choice of awareness, the vertical path. Once you have made that choice, then come the various forms of enactment. Ooh. In what way, therefore, does non physical guidance serve you? It is a partnership of challenging you to come to terms with the full width and breadth and depth of authentic power and responsible choice. It is not that you give permission to be mindlessly manipulated. It is that you give permission to be shown the fullness of your power and guided to its use. When you depend entirely upon the ability of your personality to determine what is best for you, you may stand in the way of a richness that is waiting for you. How do you know what the universe has waiting for you if you take off your restrictions? Mm. If you are determined to have your life unfold in a particular way, and none other, if you have your heart set on using your creativity only to accumulate money, for example, consider that you build your entire reality around that. The universe cannot help you in the same way that it can if you were trusting of it, because it cannot overshadow nor penetrate your choices. That's it. Yet what if what you are doing is more appropriately regarding in a social sphere rather than an economic one? In other words, what if the enterprise that you seek to develop is more appropriately a way to an avenue that you have not yet recognized? It is now deadlocked because it cannot go down its appropriate path. For you have your LTD, okay, on a door that you insist upon opening, that you won't let go, pretty much. So you have your focus set on a choice that you want to go down a path that you are determined to go down, and it in your mind, this is deadlocked, is locked in. No one can penetrate that. No one can give you a different perspective or anything like that. You are set on going that route. Okay. Let go of what you think is just reward. Let go. Trust. Be who you are. The rest is up to your non physical teachers and the universe. Take your hands off the steering wheel. Listen. Oh, I had a hard lesson in learning this years ago. Take your hands off the steering wheel. Be able to say to the universe, thy will be done. And to know it within your intentions. Spend time in this thought. Consider what it means to say, thy will be done, and allow life to go into the hands of the universe completely. The final piece of reaching for authentic power is releasing your own to a higher form of wisdom. That's it. Long before we as a species became aware that there is such a dimension as the realm of non physical guidance and teachers, each human being was guided, and beautifully so, by many non physical teachers. Even though unseen by us, this guidance happened nonetheless in its perfection and in its balance. That is what is happening now. It is just that for the first time, as we become multisensory, we are aware of it and can put names with non-physical teachers. That's it. And have a sense of personal relationship with them. Yet it is that what you experience is always appropriate and will always move toward the greatest wisdom of your development and guidance. Remind yourself that you are supported, that you are not going at it up alone upon this earth. Dwell in the company of your non physical teachers and guides. Do not discriminate in terms of what you can and should ask and speak out. Just assume and live in the beauty of the bond. Do not fear dependency. What is wrong with being dependent upon the universe, whether that is your teachers or divine intelligence? You do what you do for yourself, and the universe and your non physical teachers and guides are there in assistance. They will never do it for you. It is not possible for them to do it for you exactly. Delight in the dependency. Give your guides and teachers permission to come closer. When you ask for guidance and assistance, simply assume that it immediately is pouring forward. You may need to work a while to relax your mind into receptivity, or you may need to have a lunch or drive into town or do whatever it is that you need to do in order to relax your mind to hear or to feel. But live in the total assumption that the moment that you ask for guidance, it is pouring in. Try looking at life as a beautifully well organized dynamic. Trust the universe. Trusting means that the circumstance that you are in is working toward your best and most appropriate end. There is no something. There's a blank there. When to okay. Again, the latter part of this book is really really choppy, and so there's a bunch of typos and missing words and things like that. I don't know why it got like this at the end of the book, but anyway, there is no okay. It says there's no when to that, and there is no if to that. Okay, so I'm gonna say that again. Trusting means that the circumstance that you are in is working toward your best and most appropriate end. There is no when to that. Okay, so there's no time, and there is no if to that. So there's no whether it's going to be happening or not. Okay, it just is. Release your specifications and say to the universe, find me where you know I need to be. Listen. Oh, that's good. Saying to the universe, find me where you know I need to be. Oh, that's heavy right there. And that's so real. That's so real, which means that they will guide, you're giving them permission to guide you and lead you in that direction. I love it. That is now going into my affirmations. Find me where you know I need to be. Let them go and trust that the universe will provide, and so it shall. Let go of all. Let your higher self complete its task. Allow yourself to pray, just as the many times human beings find themselves in circumstances where the hurt or the pain is so great that on their own power they cannot forgive. It is enough that they pray to be given the grace, the perception, okay, the elevated light that will allow them to forgive. It is impossible for you to come full circle in this way of empowerment without prayer. It is not enough to want or to intend or to meditate. You must pray. You must talk. You must ask. You must believe. That is partnership. Think of what you're doing as entering into partnership with divine intelligence, a partnership in which you begin to share your concerns with the understanding that there is an intelligence receptive to what you're saying that helps you create within your own environment of matter and energy the most effective dynamics to bring you into wholeness. You do not need to think that you create alone, but rather that you are guided strongly in ways to help co-create in the most effective way for your healing and for the fulfillment of your contract. Consider your intentions and your meditations as part of what is done within the context of prayer. Be able to say within your intentions and your meditations, and I ask for guidance or help, and expect to get it. Expect to get it. Aside from the level of responsible choice of energy and how you form that into matter, the dependency on prayer assists you in pulling to yourself and invoking grace. Prayer is moving relationship with divine intelligence. Prayer is moving relationship with divine intelligence. It is impossible to have a prayer without power. It is impossible to have a thought that is a secret for all energy is heard. Yes, okay, okay. That just said something about thought. It is impossible to have a thought that is a secret for all energy is heard. Okay. When you pray, you draw to you and invoke grace. Grace is uncontaminated conscious light, it is divinity. Prayer brings grace, and grace calms you. That is the cycle. Grace is the tranquilizer of the soul. With grace comes a knowing that what you are experiencing is necessary. It calms you with a sense of knowing into a personal into a personal. Relax into the present moment. Do what you need to do in the present moment. Yours is not to worry about that which we call the future. That does not mean that you do not consider the consequences of each of your choices. Taking into account the consequences of your decisions is responsible choice. It means to create strongly in the present moment. Do not lose power over the what ifs of your life. These are unlimited and endless. Keep your power in the now, in the present time. Keep your power just in the day that you are living on the earth, and not on how to maneuver tomorrow. That's it. Ooh, that's it. There's only always right now. That's it. There's only always right now. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We don't know what the next 5 minutes will be. There's only always right now. So keep your focus on right now. Keep your power in the right now. Mm, mm. Use all of your worldly connections, but not out of panic and not out of fear. Do what you need to do on your end. Your choice comes in knowing appropriate timing, clear motivation, and trust. Allow your intuition to guide your timing. Yes. Take it inside. Ask how you feel and then move forward. Allow yourself to experience what it is to learn step by step the freedom that comes from being unattached to the outcome. Yes, but operating from an empowered heart. Do not assume that the universe operates like humankind, because it does not. Do not insist that the universe comply with your understanding of it. Rather, hold unto the thought that there is nothing without value that exists upon the earth, that it is impossible to create any form of life that does not have value. Therefore, it is impossible to create any action that does not have value. You may not see it, but that is irrelevant. Live in the trust that when it is appropriate, pieces will fall into place and you will see clearly. Trust allows you to call forth your negativities in order to heal them. It allows you to follow your feelings through your defenses to their sources, and to bring to the light of consciousness those aspects of yourself that resist wholeness, that live in fear. The journey to authentic power requires that you become conscious of all that you feel. The unearthing and healing of your negativities may appear to be an endless process, but it is not. Your vulnerabilities and weaknesses and fears are not different from those of your fellow humans. Do not despair because your humanness awakens. Feel your intentions in your heart. Feel not what your mind tells you, but what your heart tells you. Rather than serve the fake gods of your mind, serve your heart, the real God. You will not find God in your intellect. Divine intelligence is in your heart. Open yourself to your fellow humans. Allow yourself to experience what you feel toward them and to hear what they feel. Your interactions with them form the basis of your growth. When you fear what you will find in yourself or what you will find in others, you will allow yourself to hear what others have to say. You turn your back on the opportunities that the universe is giving you to find the power of your heart, the power of compassion. It is not until you have the courage to engage in human relationships that you will grow. Listen, it is not until you have the courage to engage in human relationships that you will grow. I asked someone probably about a month or so ago. I asked them to tell me how they felt about me. Okay, this is a family in my family circle, immediate circle. Tell me how they felt about me and be completely and totally honest, right? From their perspective, of course, from their perspectives, which I can't undo how they think or feel or whatever. Whether it's valid, not invalid, that's theirs, right? And so when they shared with me their feelings, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that thing shattered my soul. It hurt because in my mind, I thought it was different. In my mind, right? I had a whole total different picture painted in their mind through their lens now, because like as he talked about before, they could be seeing through the dark lenses of how they view life, earth, people, whatever, because of their experiences. So that may be true, but at the end of the day, it was their truth in that moment, and they spoke to me about me from that perspective. And it saddened me, not from what they said. It saddened me because I say, or for how they thought of me. That's what I said. I wasn't saddened about that because, again, um, it's their lens. You know what I'm saying? People are not going to see a situation for what it is. They see it from where they are. You know what I mean? And so I wasn't concerned about that part. So I took that, and it hurt my heart because I'm thinking about them, and I'm thinking about, man, had I known that that's how you felt, I would have corrected that already. I would have made choices, I would have changed things, I would have done a whole lot of stuff to ensure that they don't feel that way had I known it. But a lot of times we do not share, we do not allow ourselves to go to those ugly places and actually have those ugly conversations. In order to get to light, we got to first enter darkness. We have to. We have to, whether we want to or not. We have to. You cannot avoid feeling the feels. You cannot continue to avoid having the hard conversations. And sometimes you need to ask how someone feels about you, truthfully, because how the image of you in your own head could be completely different from what the actual image is that they have of you. Okay. But the only way that you'll get their truth about how they see you is to ask them, and then be open to hear, no matter how ugly it might feel. And because of that, I made the choice that day, you know what I'm saying? That very day, to make the move that I decided to make. Absolutely. Because one thing that I will never ever do is have someone to feel that way. No, absolutely not. Whether I'm doing that they say I am or not, it doesn't matter. That's not for me to argue. That's their point of view. I can't change that for them. Again, whether they're stretching it, reaching, adding on to it, whatever the case, it is theirs. It is theirs, and I have no right to tell them how to feel, right? But I do have the ability to do something about my end, right? And that's exactly what I chose to do as a result of that. Sometimes we have to hear it. Like he stated here, it is not until you have the courage to engage in human relationships that you can grow. Because a lot of us really, really think that we are in a better position than what we really are. We really, really do. Until we actually, who can tell you best? Ask your circle around you. Ask your circle around you. Yeah. Who has nothing to gain or to lose as a result of telling you the truth. Ask your circle. Those who you deal with and engage with every day. Ask them. They will tell you if you can handle it. But if that question is not being asked, that's because you probably fear the answer. Because deep down internally, you already know what the answer is. Period. You already know. Compassion is mutual compassion. Compassion is mutual compassion. The physical body is soothed and invigorated by the energy of the heart. and torn by lower frequency currents of anger, rage, fear, and violence. When you treat another harshly and distance yourself from your heart, it is you that suffers as well as the other. And when you treat another with compassion, you treat yourself kindly at the same time. As your consciousness expands and as you become aware of what you feel, you become aware of the dual effects of compassion and the lack of it. You become aware of the damage that you do to your own body when you feel and act without compassion. Come on, come on. It's inevitable. We're all interconnected. So, literally, what you do to others, you will feel in your own self. Okay. Challenge your fears. Fear of growing and of transformation of self is what causes you to want to disengage from the present situation to reach for another. Ooh, ooh, yeah. When you feel that you are in a pattern of wanting what you do not have instead of what you do have, of seeing the grass in the other pasture as greener because it is in the other pasture, confront it. Challenge it each time that it comes up by literally realizing that when it comes up, you are not in the present moment. You are not engaged in your present energy dynamic, but rather you are letting energy leak to a future that does not exist. Each time you feel negative, stop. Acknowledge that you are and discharge it consciously. Ask what you are what you are feeling and what is at the root of it. Go for the root of it in that instant. In that instant. Do not let the thing linger. Go for the root of it in that instant. And as you work to pull the root, simultaneously look at the positive side and remind yourself of the greater truth that there is something spiritually profound at work, that your life is no accident, that you are under contract. Exactly. Because even going back to that scenario, yes, it hurt me to my core. However, I allowed myself to feel too. Sure did. But I was so grateful. And I said it. I said it to them. I said, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I know your truth, because I can actually in knowing the truth, because you cannot move and do adjusting and make a transformation or whatever the case until you know, right? Otherwise, you're stuck with your own thoughts and thinking that everything is do 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 la 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 when it's nowhere near that. How will you know unless you ask? But too many people avoid because we're so scared of having those hardcore conversations. What is the point of being here if we're not here to evolve? If we're not here to transform, if we're not here to grow up, what are we here for, y'all? Be mindful of the words that you use and the actions that you live and who you are and how it is you use your power. In other words, as you say what you say, as you make commitments, as you form the power of your life, keep clear at all times that you are what you say you are. The song came in my head. You are what you say you are. Yes. That you put your force behind what you say and monitor that accordingly. If you are unaware of your intention, or if you suspect that you are operating from a second agenda, ask yourself, what is really going on? Check your motivations. That automatically engages guidance. You will not be alone in your assessment. Trust allows you to give. Giving is abundant. As you give, so it shall be given to you. If you give with judgment, limitation, and stinginess, that is what you will create in your life: judgment, limitation, and stinginess. What you say to others shall be done exactly unto you. That is the law of karma. And how you love and serve others shall be done exactly unto you. If you radiate love and compassion, you do receive it. If you radiate fear and suspicion and a sense of wishing to keep other people at arm's length, the negativity comes to you because that is what you are asking for. Trust allows the experience of bliss. When you trust that the universe in each moment is providing for the needs of your soul, and that the guidance and the assistance of your non physical guides and teachers are always available to you, you are free to enjoy your interactions with others and to leave aside the heavier frequencies and the manipulations and protectiveness. Awakened is a blissful state, not a painful one. It is blissful. It is fully balanced and lovingly harmonious. It is all of these things and more. The vertical path means clarity, not pain. Trust allows you to laugh. You can just as easily laugh and play while you grow as becoming serious and overwhelmed. Spiritual partners see from the perspective of the impersonal, and they help each other see from that perspective that meaning of their experiences. They can laugh at the richness and the beauty and the playfulness of the universe. They enjoy each other. They see the frustrations of the wants of the personality for what they are, learnings, sometimes great learnings for the soul. Yes. All of what you are doing in each day is creating what is appropriate and perfect. Apply consciousness to this process. That is trust. Although what you encounter and what you do in each moment is appropriate and perfect to the evolution of your soul, the shape of the experiences of your life is determined nonetheless by the choice that you make. It is you that chooses to linger in resentment. Oh my God. It is you that chooses to linger in resentment or to be consumed by anger or enveloped in grief or to release these lower frequency currents of energy. Each choice that you make to dwell in negativity or to take up residence in your heart serves perfectly the evolution of your soul. All roads lead to home. If you choose anger or grief or resentment or jealousy, you will learn the lesson of love, but you will learn it through pain and trauma and a sense of loss. You will not evolve. This is not possible. You are on a quest for authentic power. You cannot give up this quest. Your only choice is whether you wish to have the quest consciously or unconsciously. You can choose through your responses to life's difficulties to engage the full power of your soul. This is the conscious path to authentic empowerment. If you will eventually evolve beyond the earth school, beyond the need for a personality and a body and the illusion in which fear and anger and insecurity appear to exist, why should you choose the vertical path? This is for you to decide. The path that you now walk is not unknown to the universe. The pains and distresses and violence that you experience can be considered as signposts along the path that you have chosen. Goodness. If you have chosen the path of learning through jealousy, for example, you will experience anxiety and fear of loss and what you think you cannot live without because these experiences are part of the path of learning through jealousy. They might be thought of as what that road looks like between mile 20 and mile 30. If you choose the path of learning through anger, you will experience rejection and violence. If you choose the path of love, you will experience being loved by others and so on. Because the choice of a particular path is also the choice of particular types of experiences. That's it. You do not break new ground from the point of view of the universe. That is so it. Whether you continue the quest for external power, which now leads nowhere, or decide to build within yourself authentic power and align yourself with the evolutionary path that our species is now on determines the experiences that you will continue to the evolution of your soul and the soul of the humankind. You contribute appropriately and perfectly to your evolution and to the evolution of others, no matter what you choose. This is true. Yet, why choose to learn unconsciously? Exactly. Have you gained the sense of security and contentment and fulfillment that you seek in this way? What is it that you wish to contribute and to experience as our species and as each of us individually makes the evolution traction from the five sensory perception of the universe to the multisensory? From evolution through the five sensory exploration of physical reality to evolution through responsible choice with the guidance and assistance of the non physical guides and teachers? Are you comfortable with the thought that the universe is alien and dead and no more than five senses can detect? How does your heart respond to the thought that the universe is alive and compassionate, and that with it and with other souls of great power and light, you learn through the process of co creating the reality that you experience? Look at the probable futures that are unfolding before our world that is built upon the energy of the personality, and the probable futures that would unfold before a world that is built upon the energy of the soul. Which do you choose? Allow yourself to become aware of what you feel. Give yourself permission to choose the most positive behavior in each moment. Yes, as you discharge negative energy consciously and set your intentions according to what your heart tells you, as you challenge and release your fears and choose to heal, you align your personality with your soul and move toward becoming a being of light, fully whole and empowered and inwardly secure. Humbleness, forgiveness, clarity, and love, all the gifts of the Spirit, take root and bloom, and you draw to yourself the universe's greatest gifts, human beings with open hearts. Rather than a soul in a body, become a body in a soul. Rather than a soul in a body, become a body in a soul. Reach for your soul. Reach even farther. The impulse of creation and power, authentic, the hourglass point between energy and matter, that is the seat of the soul. What does it mean to touch that place? It is exciting to come of age spiritually. Mm. It is exciting to come of age spiritually. That is amazing. And that concludes the seat of the soul. Oh my goodness, man. That listen, that was amazing. That whole book. I honestly, this is a book that I wouldn't mind reading personally at least once a year. At least once a year. I would absolutely read this book once a year. Yeah. As reminders, because sometimes we really, you know what I mean, as just kind of a gauge for my own self, my own soul evolution, but also sometimes we do need reminders. This energy on this plane, you all, is so dense. It's so dense, so heavy, so grabbing, and so influencing. And so we have to maintain and cultivate the muscle of our soul and our heart and our thoughts. And we have to, you know what I'm saying, our epicenters, our chakras and things like that. We have to develop ourselves constantly and never ever get comfortable in a certain place, because evolution is just that. It's evolving, it's constant evolving, constant growing, constant expanding. We have to do that. That is the course that we're on. And the more we evolve in our soul, the better our choices. The better our choices, the stronger our love. We're just constantly making love more and more, making more love, making more love, making more love for ourselves, within ourselves, as ourselves, and for the whole, within the whole, as the whole. Ah, with the help of our guides, with the help of our ancestors, our angels, our contemporaries, our higher self. Oh my goodness, man. This is a very beautiful, brilliant, breaking journey and experience. It is so much happening here. So much happening. There's so much growth, and then so much dismantling and so much purging, but so much um um connecting, and so never get comfortable. We can't get comfortable in this process. We cannot get comfortable in this process. You know, there's always a pruning that needs to take place, always a pruning, a feeling, a hearing, a laughing, a loving, a crying, you know, always, 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 always. And no, it's not them. You know what I mean? Because even when we read this stuff, I found myself a couple of times as I was reading, I'm thinking about other people and oh, this is good and oh, that's them. No, no, the fact that you even thought that says it's you. The fact that you even pinpointed another person says that you are the person that this is talking about. So again, part of actually having authentic empowerment is one of them is humility. Okay, calm yourself, because literally every single one of us on this platform, on this, when I say platform, I mean this earth plane, earth school, is in the same process. Okay, I don't care how old or how young, we're all on the same process. We're in the same regime. So to point out somebody else's stuff and not see you first, crazy work. Crazy work. And every time I thought that, I had to, my own self had my own inner self. And this is as I'm reading, right? My own inner self is snapping myself back into alignment. Like, nah, we not doing that. No, we can't do that. We won't do that. We won't do that. Not at all. My goodness. Ah, ooh, this journey is something else, y'all. This journey is something else. And I love every freaking minute of it. Do you hear me? This is love. This is a wild ride. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's clear that I have the chops, right? It's clear that you all have the chops because you're here. Hello. You're here, we're here together, right? It's clear we got it in us to do this thing called life, to call this human existence. I'm here for it. I love it. I love it. I'm excited for what's to come. I'm super, super duper excited. All right. And you all should be too. And I'm extremely proud of you all, just as proud as I am of myself. Okay. But let's keep going. We are holding each other hand, walking each other back home. Let's keep going. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to fold. This is not the time to give into the old ways or even retract and go back to some of the old ways. We have defeated those things. We have overcome. We have grown. We have stretched out of that old skin. There's no putting it back on. Move forward, keep going, keep living, keep loving, keep experiencing, keep choosing responsibly, keep choosing reverently, keep loving, keep sharing, keep expanding, keep connecting, keep cultivating, just keep going. Keep going. Don't get lost in the sauce. Keep going. Keep going. Even if people try to, bring you to whatever state of mind and make you feel whatever type of way, guess what? At the end of the day, don't even react to them, because if you react to them, then what you're showing is that you're in need of love too. That person is in need of love. That's why they're acting that way. Once we see past the illusion of it all, that going back to the chapter illusion, when we the more we evolve and the more authentic power we have that is based and connected to our soul self, we will be able to see past the illusion of somebody trying to throw shade. We will be able to see past the illusion of somebody trying to control or trying to, force their ideals on you. We will be able to see past the illusion of that stuff and see it for what it is and address the matter at hand. But every time we give in to it, guess what? It's revealing where you lack love. Yep. And every time we give in again, we give in, we react, we attach ourselves to the negativity, and we attach ourselves to the negative karma that's coming on the back end of that, prolonging our journey in the schooling system here. Okay, let's get it, man. Let's get it. Let's keep going. All right, you all. So listen, that was the end of the Seat of the Soul. If you need that book, okay, it's still available no matter, if we move on to the next or not, which we will be moving on to the next on next Sunday, right? We will not have a session on Tuesday because I like to give you guys a break in between, you guys and girls. You want to be correct here, okay? I like to give everyone a break, a breather in between one book to the next, but we will be going into our next book on Sunday next week. And that book is A Course in Miracles. Okay, A Course in Miracles. It is the complete and annotated edition. So it has the book in and of itself. Then it has the student journal and the teacher's journal. Okay, So whoever is in the in the teaching field and things like that, especially in terms of spiritual teachings and evolution and whatnot, this is a great book for you to have. You know, and to be able to share with your students, and to be able to have, your workbook and things like that from the teacher's perspective. Okay. A Course in Miracles. We will begin this book reading on next Sunday. If you need your book, if you need your copy of it, I told you it's always available for you. Okay, reach out to me via email, reach out to me via inbox, or whatever the case. However you need to communicate with me, do so, please and thank you. You can email me. If you're emailing, you can email me at info@biancamissblee.com. Again, info@biancamissblee.com. You can visit my website and kind of send me a contact information and let me know in the contact tab that you're requesting a book, and the email address to send the book to. That website is biancamissblee.com. biancamissblee.com. Okay. If you're following me on social media, please do so. I'm at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, what else? Clubhouse. I'm everywhere. Okay. Everywhere under the same name, Dr. Bianca Miss Lee. Okay. Whew, that was good. I have to go and chew on this, what we just finished reading. Okay. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do that for sure. I love you all very much. I mean it. There is absolutely, positively nothing you can do about it. I will see you back here on next Sunday. There will be no session on Tuesday. You can take a break and just kind of chew on what we just consumed. Okay. Please do that. I will see you back here on next Sunday. Have a phenomenal rest of your Sunday. Have an amazing week. All hits, no misses, all wins, no losses. That is not what we are here to do. Evolve, evolve, evolve. Choose responsibly. Choose reverently. Love big, limitlessly. Okay? Love yourself. Love others. All right? Love the earth. Love nature. Yeah, love it all. Love all things created. All right? See you all next week. Peace.